All right, let's just wait a minute or two. I have not received any confirmation from Sage that he's going to be here, so I'm going to have to just bug him on Discord. He's probably playing Path of Exile, and as I say that, he is playing Path of Exile. So let's see if he sees this message. Hopefully he's online on Discord. He's going to see the message. No excuses whatsoever. Alright, let me just bring this up on the phone. View channel. Oh, would you look at that? This is the 11th video so far. Wow, already. Great. Grand. Alright, let's change it so I can see all messages. Oh my god. That's what she said, Sage. That's what she said. Let's get this show on the road here a little bit. I'm kind of glad we're back to our normal hours. Last night, I don't know, must have streamed at damn near 3 o'clock in the morning Eastern Standard Time, so it was a late night, needless to say. So all I'm going to say is another day in the NHL and another overtime. What? What do you mean there wasn't an overtime? What a way to end it. I told Dan, I was like, you know what? I don't want this to go to overtime. I don't give a shit who wins the game, frankly. I just want it not to go to overtime so I can do a stream at a normal time. And I got my wish. With 0.4 seconds left, the Las Vegas Knights did score to defeat the Edmonton Oilers 4-3. That series is now 2-1 in favor of Edmonton. So Edmonton kind of in a similar position as the Leafs. Gotta, try to win the next one. Go up 3-1. Have a nice little cushion there. I think, I could be wrong. Probably not wrong though. I do think that that there's been like 17 overtime games in the playoffs already. It seems like every game is like an overtime game. And we're not just talking overtime. We're talking some going into double overtime too, right? So it's definitely been a competitive affair. Bad beat. Goalie was out of position. Got a break there. Draisaitl scored on the wrong end. I think he just lost his muscle control a little bit. And, he thought he was shooting on the opposition, but that was not the case whatsoever. So, making a series out of it. I kind of expected this to be a series. So, I think I wasn't really watching, but I was kind of paying attention. It did sound like Golden State was the better team tonight, so I think the better team did win. So there you go. The better team won tonight. Speaking of better teams, well, it seems like Carolina was certainly the better team tonight. They edged out the Washington. I almost said Commanders, but I didn't. They washed out the Washington Capitals 4-0. They kind of, I don't know. It's going to be a big one, the next one for Washington. I kind of feel like this series is not necessarily going to go 5. I think this is the only series where it could potentially be a mismatch. I don't know. The rest seem like, pretty closely contested, but this one just kind of seems like a mismatch to me. So 4-0, not really much to say there. We're going to pivot off that. We'll just take a look at the bracket real quick. So I believe tomorrow we will have the Jets and Stars playing each other. That series is tied 1-1. I already mentioned that Golden State, Edmonton, 2-1 in favor of Edmonton. Also, Capitals and Hurricanes. Carolina is up 2-1 in that series. And a little crushing loss for the Leafs last night. They lost in overtime. Hopefully they can steal one tomorrow, go back home and just close that fucker out in 5. But I have a feeling it's going 7. And that's it. That's a wrap for hockey. Let's move on to the NBA where, and I put 2 hashtags in early tonight, Sage. And I'm gonna toot my own horn because it's worth fucking tooting. I put Minnesota Timberwolves when they were only up by 2. I put them as a hashtag. When the game was tied for Vegas, I put that hashtag in as well. Clearly, I can see the future when it comes to the world of sports. So Minnesota wins 102-97 over Golden State. Anthony Edwards scored 36. Jimmy Butler, he gave it his best shot, scored 33. Jonathan Kuminga scored 30, but that was not enough. The rest of the team didn't really have enough depth in scoring. No, I wouldn't say that, but I mean, they only had 3 in double digits, so it's going to be hard for them. I do think it's probably going to be a 5-game series. The Warriors are going to get eliminated before Stephen Curry returns. That's just the way I see it. So good work to the Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards in Minnesota for getting the job done tonight, not to none. 102-97. This one, Sage, I know it's going to hurt you a little bit, but I do have to discuss it. Your beloved New York Knicks kind of have the tables turned on them right now. So Boston went and beat their asses 115-93. I feel like the next game for the Knicks is a must-win. If they don't win that, I honestly see Boston just walking away after 6. So that's the way I kind of see it going down. Boston was 50% from 3 tonight, 20 for 40, and I mean they beat the shit. They kicked the shit out of your beloved New York Knicks. What else can I say, Sage? I do apologize. I mean, but it's just the reality of the situation. The funny thing is about Boston, I mean, their highest scorer, and I don't even know who the fuck this guy is, Peyton Pritchard, 23 points. Then you got like Tatum, 22. You got Al Horford, 15 points. You got Derek White, 17 points. Jaylen Brown, 19 points. So it's like well-balanced attack. But please, who the fuck is Peyton Pritchard? Please. You guys are losing with their highest scoring player. It looks like it's maybe 9th on the depth chart. You guys got to do gooder than that. So put it behind you. Got to win the next one or the Knicks are done like fucking dinner. So on the docket, we'll just break down kind of where we're at, even though we kind of know where we're at a little bit. Denver is leading the Thunder, who won 68 games in the regular season, 2-1. Timberwolves are up 2-1 against the Warriors. You got the Cavaliers down 2-1 against the Pacers. The New York Knicks up 2-1 on the Celtics. So that's where we stand in the world of basketball, or basketball, I should have said. Let's go over... No, you didn't. That just happened? The Blue Jays came back and won a fucking ball game. The Blue Jays were down 3-0. I saw them motherfuckers down 3-0, and then I saw that, Bo Bichette, who Dan was saying, his power needs to be better, which it does, hit a 2-run blast to make it 3-2. Let me just try to figure out how we ended up winning this game. It looks like Addison Barger went 2 for 5 tonight, or 1 for 5 with 2 RBI, so he must have hit a dinger. He didn't. It must have been just an extra base hit, probably a double, or looks like it was actually just a single. Okay, interesting. Where did our other runs come from? Looks like Springer did something, drove in 1. Actually, I was looking at his walks. He had a walk. He didn't drive anyone in. Scored 2 runs, though. Kind of impressive. Miles Straw with 2 RBIs. This guy can't hit. He's like a 550 career OPS. All right, so we went on to beat the Seattle Mariners 4-2. Bowden Francis, he looked better. He's been looking like dog shit lately. Absolute fucking dog shit, but he had 3 earned runs in 6 2/3 inning. That's all you can ask for. The bullpen shut it down. Fluharty. I don't even know who the fuck that pitcher is. He must be one of our left-handers that we called up or some shit like that. Went 1 1/3, didn't let a run. And Hoffman, again, looks like he's back on track. 0 earned runs, 3.79 ERA. So, pretty surprised. Jays 19-20. They have been an absolute definition of complete mediocrity, inconsistency. But they're standing at 19-20 right now. So, that's interesting. That's pretty interesting. No one probably is going to know what I'm talking about next, but The Chicago Cubs promoted Cade Thornton. I said Thornton. I meant to say Horton. I was thinking of Joe Thornton and his big-ass motherfucking beard. Cade Horton has been promoted. He's a top prospect. Apparently he had an injury or something last year that really affected his velocity. So he comes in. I believe he was pitching for Iowa in the minor leagues. And he rebounded this year with a 95.9 average fastball. Or 95.8. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, fact check me, fucking MLB trade rumors, you fucking assholes. So I'll just tell you one thing. When I see there's a top prospect coming up, and I've got Brandon Nimmo sitting on my fantasy bench, and, he's not playing, of course I'm going to add Cade Thornton. He's got a good fastball. He's got a good slider. He's 23 years old. I'm going to take a chance. So, you know what, Brandon Nimmo, I might have plugged you in for one game, potentially 0. Thank you for your service. You'll get a ring at the end of the year. I promise you. Thank you for your service. You never know. We might come back to you. So, hopefully this Cade Thornton guy, I did it again. Oh, my God. I'm just like fucking Britney Spears. Cade Horton will become something. So, I added him. He's going to definitely help me put the nail in the coffin against Dan this week. I'm going to pulverize Dan because I'm actually going to give us a little ESPN update for fantasy sports. So, it's been going back and forth a little bit. I'm going to say that right now. Before I actually go over this, I'm going to just edit a hashtag so I don't have to do it later. So let's put hashtag fantasy baseball. So me and Dan have been trading blows. We've been trading blows this week. Dan knows his season is on the line. He's in dire straits right now. He's a desperate man. He knows if he doesn't win this week, he's probably throwing in the proverbial towel. He'll probably quit on us, Sage. I mean, would you agree? So, I mean, he was winning today. Actually, I think at the start of the day, he was up 10-4. Then it went like 8-7. Might have, kind of teeter-tottered, 8-7 each way. But now I am officially up 9-5. So Dan's got a little bit of heavy lifting to do tomorrow. Hopefully he's got pitchers going because I've got 3 of them. And I'm looking to put a fork in him and make sure he's done. So that's our update there. Let's see from the rest of the league where we're at. We've 10-5. I'm up 10-5. The score just changed. I'm up 10-5, Sage. Just like that. I talked and my team listened. Great work. Great work by Team Rodfather over here. It looks like Graham is potentially going to pick up a win. He's up 10-5 as well. Tommy Callahan of Tommy Callahan Auto Parts isn't looking so hot. He's down 11-5 to the third place team. Bases loaded into double play, I think is the name of the team. Sage, it looks like you're about to lose. And then it looks like Mother's got a commanding 11-5 lead. I know Aaron Judge hit 2 home runs tonight. I believe that puts him for 14 on the season. And that's most likely why Mother is up 11-5. You know what, Sage? Mother's creeping up there. She might surpass you in a week or two. Titles are, you know what, Sage? I agree. Titles aren't won in week 5, but they're lost in week 5, as per Dan's reporting. Come on. Dan's eliminated. There's no way he's coming back. Mark him down as a 7 seed at best this year. Mark my words, Sage. He's going to lose the season in week 5. Okay? But yeah, you might want to start, selling better mufflers and stuff out there at Tommy Callahan's Auto Parts. Okay there, bud? Moving on, we're going to pivot to, I think the last thing that I had to go over. Let me just go to Roto World, see if there's been, anything new. I don't think that there has been, honestly. But we need to unfortunately take a minute of silence right here. Derek Carr has died. I mean, his career has died. Derek Carr retired earlier today after only 11 years in the league due to, I think he had a torn labrum. Torn labrums can be a fucking bitch. Apparently he didn't want to do the surgery. Even if you do the surgery, like a torn labrum, it's hard to come back from. I know that from baseball. A lot of guys tear their labrum, they don't come back. So Derek Carr has retired after 11 years. I mean, I thought Derek Carr was a pretty solid quarterback. We'll kind of go over his numbers soon. That means this Tyler Shough guy, or Shuck, or whatever his fucking name is going to probably be the starter for New Orleans this year. Now, the Saints, when I talk about the New Orleans Saints, I'm going to say one thing that they're synonymous with the last half decade, and they are an absolute travesty when it comes to managing the salary cap. I've seen times where they've been 80 over and then they just put in void years on. And they really need to hit the reset button a little bit here. Go 2-3 years where it's yeah, we know you're going to fucking suck. They really need to do that. With Derek Carr retiring, that is going to help them for cap purposes, I would say, somewhat significantly, but they're probably $70 million over, or $700 million. Who the fuck knows? Terrible cap management team. But I think Derek Carr was a good but not great quarterback. He was kind of, not, in my opinion, he was not super explosive. He was a pretty accurate guy, kind of, play the ball underneath quite a bit. But he was a pretty solid quarterback nonetheless. I mean, he ended his career with a 92.8 quarterback rating. His best year in terms of touchdowns came in his second year, actually, when he threw 32 touchdowns to 13 interceptions. His best for ratings, because I'm not really going to count last year, because that's only in 10 games. So, last year he had a 101 rating, but I don't think it was necessarily as good as the years of 2019 and 2020 when he was, throwing, what was he, 101 or some shit? Let me see if I remembered that correctly. 100.8 and 101.4. The weird thing, though, is when he's over 100, he's throwing 21 and 27 touchdowns. So I think a big part of his game, because he only threw 257 touchdowns in his career, which isn't bad. It's just, like I'm saying, to the explosiveness note. He wasn't super explosive. He was not a touchdown magnet, that's for sure. But, he always kept his interceptions down. The worst seasons he ever had was, twice at 14, twice at 13. So, he's a pretty reliable guy. Unfortunately, he played with the lousy Oakland Raiders, and that's why his career record is, 77 and 92. So I thought he was a bit better than that for sure. Pretty surprising that he retired. Obviously, that's probably why the Saints took a quarterback in the second round this year. Because if they really were 100% certain that Derek Carr was going to come back, they probably... Well, they still might go quarterback, I guess. He was 34 years old, but... I don't know. I wasn't a huge-ass fan of Derek Carr, but he did have 4 Pro Bowls, so he's a noteworthy player, so that's why we got to go over it for today. So that's going to close the chapter on this stream. Unless, Sage, did I miss anything of importance? Anything you wanted to discuss, like your lowly auto parts, anything of that nature whatsoever? We will do whatever we want with the auto shop. You know what? I'm gonna buy the auto shop and then I'm gonna shut it down. All ducks seem to be in a row. That's what I'm hearing over there, Sage. Well, if that's the case, I am gonna move on to listen to some music and chill the fuck out. We'll be back tomorrow for another stream, and hopefully I won't be in a bad mood. Because if I'm in a bad mood, that means the Leafs lost. And I don't want to be going 2-2 back home. I just want to be up fucking 3-1. Is that so hard to hit, to ask for? I was going to say, hit that like button before you leave, though, bud. That's all I ask for my wrenches and my, anyone else that might be, viewing from afar. Hit the fucking like button, okay? All right, guys. Well, everyone have a good night. And we will. Oh, wait. Before we go, I think we're streaming with Nathan and Dan at Indie Game Cloud tomorrow from starting at maybe 5 Eastern or 4 Eastern. So just keep an eye out for that for those of you who are subscribed to that channel as well. All right. Have a good night, guys. That's it from the Thundercast. Take her easy.